This episode number 81, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If you would think that you could possibly get tired from doing what I'm doing, I mean, I don't know if you can. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying this like 15 days in a row live streaming, you know what I'm saying? Bringing the content, covering the content. Man, there's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying, in geopolitics and around the world. There's even a lot more going on in America. That's the only reason why. You guys know on Sundays, I usually never stream. Actually, I'll tell you, I never would stream on Sundays. But you know what I'm saying, due to what's going on, I would say the nature of what's going on, I came out and I decided to do a live stream. You know what I'm saying? That being said, I'm gonna just give a proper introduction to the stream if you guys don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, been on a journey to do 100 episodes in 90 days, man. So that's what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? I got like some cases that I got going on that, has me in this area, in the New York area. So that's why I've been up here for about 10 months. The Tax the Rich tour, we're on 100 episodes, 90 days, you know what I'm saying? Like 100 live streams, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of content, man, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't complain about it. And like I said, we on day number 15. I usually don't stream on Sundays. I was going to stream twice on Tuesday. But instead, I'm going to just go ahead and bring you guys the content today. We're just going to power through. So, you know what I'm saying, about time I don't do another live stream, it's probably going to be about 21, 22 days. But I'm not complaining, like I said. You know what I'm saying? We up here in Central Park in New York City. If you guys don't know, we on the upper west side of Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm bringing you guys the content. That's where we headed to right now, Central Park. If you guys are watching the content after it was pre-recorded, I ask that y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell as you guys come into the stream. I welcome you at any time to jump down in the comments, man, and let y'all's voices be heard, because I got some incredible news today. And it's the only reason why that I went live this morning, man. Senator Lindsey Graham has passed away. Senator Lindsey Graham, man. It's unbelievable. Like when I woke up and I seen that, we live in the day of AI and all kind of other fake news or ways that you could disseminate fake information, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. Even when you hear stuff, you got to be careful to double check it, you know what I'm saying, before you come out and just start telling people. So, man, as I opened up my phone and started looking through my phone, I seen more and more. Everybody's talking about it, man. Senator Graham has really passed away, man, at 71 years old. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell. I welcome Republicans, Independents, and Democrats. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying, you know what I'm saying, to be negative whatsoever in this live stream this morning about, you know what I'm saying, the death of Senator Graham. I want to say rest in peace to him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to give you guys the news and we could talk about it a little bit from the point that we are, and then we could talk about on a broader prospect of what it means is him being one of President Trump's top advisors, foreign advisors, him being so hawkish on Iran and what that means to America in a broader sense. So let me go ahead and start with it, man. I heard, this is according to the news, and you guys could correct me down below in the chat if you guys are wrong, if I'm wrong, excuse me. I heard that Lindsey Graham was in Kyiv on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Guys, today is Sunday, and it's not just Sunday, like it's early Sunday morning. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's 8 a.m. Eastern time right now. So I'm saying, like, the news has been out, by the way, for 4 hours. You guys could chip in if you guys know more. You know what I'm saying? At exactly what time he has died. You know what I'm saying? For about 4 hours. So it was announced probably about 4 a.m. Eastern. You know what I'm saying? From the source that I give you guys, NBC and others, that Lindsey Graham had passed away. But what I don't I'm not saying I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They're saying he died from a sudden illness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying what I don't understand, but what I'm saying is he was coming or he was in Ukraine on Friday. He was in Ukraine on Friday. I'm saying, what in the world? And I know he's 71 years old, so it's possible that it could come out that he was having health problems and things like that. But I'm saying, if he was in Ukraine on Friday, I'm saying there's no way in the world, if in 2 days, less than 2 full days, you would be dead. There's no way in the world that you would realize that you sick. Or I'm saying no one would know that you were sick. Because I'm saying you in Asia or Europe doing American business as a senator. And I'm saying, who in this live stream, which one of us knew that Lindsey Graham had something wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? We know Mitch McConnell, I haven't reported it, but you guys, but Mitch McConnell, there's been a story about him, how, these old politicians, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be like that this morning, but I'm saying with Lindsey, with Mitch McConnell and with Joe Biden, and, we heard President Trump had a few health issues, but I'm talking about with Lindsey Graham, bro. He was in Ukraine on Friday. He was conducting business, American business, as a sitting U.S. Senator from South Carolina on Friday. He was in Ukraine. I'm saying, if you in Ukraine on Friday, from you getting back from Ukraine to the United States, how long does that take? I mean, even, he flying on, what I'm saying, private flights, possibly military flights. I'm not sure. You guys could research it. I'm just trying to invoke thought right now. But I'm saying, like, even if he flying on a supersonic plane, I'm saying you would think that would take 8 to 12 to 10 hours to fly from Ukraine. Get home, get settled in. That's on Friday. So we looking at Saturday. I'm saying, when did he return from Ukraine? When did he get back at home, either in DC or South Carolina from Ukraine? And I'm saying, from the time he got home from Ukraine to at least 4 a.m. or before this morning, the news is this morning, guys, that Senator Lindsey Graham has passed away. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen. I appreciate that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If y'all make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Republicans, Independents, Democrats, jump down in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. If y'all are familiar with the channel, y'all follow the content, y'all know this is our 14th day in a row streaming. So it had to be something very special for me on the day that I planned off for 14 days in a row streaming, for me to come and bring y'all this content, man. Because this is real serious. Guys, y'all know we have talked about Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, if someone uses AI and they analyze this channel, I would have to say Lindsey Graham would be either the first or second politician that I mentioned the most that is not the president or a former president. Lindsey Graham is probably the sitting representative in Congress that I mention more. Him and Mike Johnson. I talk about Lindsey Graham a lot. And you guys know, as of late, we've talked about Lindsey Graham on this channel because of his support for the war in Iran. I mean, just yesterday, I said that I heard Lindsey Graham giving President Trump advice. See, listen, a senator, especially a senator who's been a senator for decades. I mean, I remember back in President Clinton days. How many of y'all remember that? Lindsey Graham, President Obama, and you know what I'm saying? Like President Bush. And I mean, it's just Lindsey Graham and Lindsey Graham and Lindsey Graham, just like Joe Biden was. There's nothing wrong with that. He a patriot. He's serving his country. Rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. But I'm saying a senator like that who's advising a president, I'm saying his advice, they taking his advice probably as close as him and President Trump was. President Trump probably taking his advice over almost anybody else's advice, even the generals. I believe that. Because I'm saying, look at the influence that Lindsey Graham had. You see what I'm saying? How many generals in America that you see go sit on CNN? You see them. Don't act like we don't see them. We see plenty of them. During the time of war, that's who you want on there is people who know about war. You want the professionals and the experts. So I'm saying you see him. You talking about a general right now, but I'm saying Lindsey Graham, he predates a lot of all of that. He's been there for so long. He's so influential. I'm saying like 2-3 days before he died, he's in Ukraine. That's how influential he is. You see what I'm saying? And to President Trump, I'm talking about a top advisor. I want y'all to stop and think about this before we delve into the advice that Lindsey Graham was giving President Trump, because we went over a lot of this stuff, but I'm going to go over it a little bit right now. Just think about this just for a second, though. I just want you to ponder on this. 2 of the top advisors for President Trump, I would say outside of Benjamin Netanyahu, within the United States, I'm saying Charlie Kirk, I know President Trump listened to him. Look at his cabinet. Look at the whole Republican Party. Look at President Trump's victory. I know President Trump listened to Charlie Kirk, but I'm saying, guys, if y'all don't know, we talked about it. I know he listened to Lindsey Graham too. It's just one was like, it's like the good cop and the bad cop. Charlie Kirk telling President Trump that, hey, this war is going to hurt you. It's going to destroy you politically. And I'm saying President Trump had to have made the calculations to this point. When they both were giving him advice, both Lindsey Graham, Benjamin Netanyahu, it's about 3-4 players in this game. You could put Vice President Vance in this game too. But I'm saying the main ones that I want to look at, because I'm saying like Charlie Kirk has passed away. I mean, like I want y'all to just think about things, different things that you might not hear from legacy media, because they're gonna give you a bunch of facts and news that I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I just want you to think about it though, man, just for a second. The 2 major players within the United States, one on President Trump's right shoulder and one on his left shoulder. And Charlie Kirk was the one that's telling him not to go to war. And I'm saying President Trump has done it. And we've seen him. We've seen President Trump in front of the American people thinking out loud. Man, South Korea, y'all not sending us no help to the Gulf? What? I'm saying like Germany, how much oil y'all get? He didn't say it like this. He might as well. How much oil you get Japan from the strike? You're not going to send us no help? We don't get no oil from the strike and make America great again, and yet still we over here doing this. But I'm telling you, this is what got it. This is what got it. I'm saying President Trump, he did the calculations, the polls that we talked about yesterday, looking at 78% of the people, looking at 57% of the people, looking at 60-something% of the people, all united against what has become a very unpopular war. So I'm saying at some point at night, Big President T, he got to be thinking about Charlie Kirk, and he was a young man too, with so much promise, and he did so much for President Trump, and he did so much for the Republican Party, and that has to grieve President Trump in his heart. But whether or not you guys believe that or not, y'all might think President Trump's a villain. Some of y'all tend to believe that. But I'm saying whether or not you believe that or not, what I'm trying to say this morning is, after looking at the calculations, he has calculated and he has realized that he should have probably listened to old Charlie. And I'm telling you, I know how President Trump is. So the people who are, what I said, writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for President Trump, telling him to attack Iran, telling him to take Kargil, that's the wrong answers. I mean, it's unbelievable how the language that I use saying that the United States needs to be purified of this. It's like a plague. It's like a disease. It's like a illness. It's like a sickness. We have to change the way that we think. 250 years of greatness, you want 250 more years of greatness, and I'm saying it's right in front of you in your face. We study that. Our teachers teach it in grade school about how the Roman Empire fell. And I'm saying the British Empire did the same thing. And it's like we gonna follow in the same footsteps. And it's like President Trump, it's not like the difference between him advising President Trump and advising President Bush, because President Trump started his campaign out with Make America Great Again and America First, which is supposed to be completely against interventions in foreign wars, which is supposed to be completely against. I'm saying it's like that's the fabric of what President Trump's second administration, really first administration, was about. Because he pointing back to his first administration and he's saying, y'all, listen, I didn't start any wars, any foreign wars, none of that. So I'm saying on this channel, we discuss how I heard Senator Lindsey Graham, he was saying that, like, we should take Carg Island. I'm saying, listen, guys, I'm not a military expert or any of the such, and I have not heard General Kane say this publicly, but I could guarantee you, I promise you, I know for I could put my soul on it, that everything you guys have heard me say on this vertical live feed, on my phone, on YouTube, General Kane has told President Trump every single word. And that's the same thing with the Strait of Hormuz. Because I heard it reported that General Kane told President Trump about the dangers of the strait. There's no way he didn't. That's the same military, that's the same everything that served during the same President Biden, during the same President Trump before, during the same President Obama. General Kane was in the military through all of those presidents' administration. You got to realize that. You know, presidents, they move generals around, they try to fire and get their own people, which could be expected. But what I'm saying is, it's pretty much the same system, what some people call the deep state. Not saying General Kane's a part of the deep state, but I'm saying every single president for 47 years, good morning, Bon White, that's why President Ronald Reagan, that's why President George Bush, the first one, that's why President Clinton, that's why every American president had made the calculation. It's like, listen, we had like a little thing with Iran. We were aware of the Strait of Hormuz, just like I'm saying, every president for the last 40 plus years. We're aware of the danger with the Strait of Hormuz. And that is the reason why we never went to war or attacked Iran, because of the cost. That's why I did the poll yesterday to show you how many of the American people say it's not worth the human and financial cost. So the calculation is you just got to work out some kind of something with Iran, but you don't want to go to war with them, because 25% of the world's, I'm talking about oil, man, that's how we power everything. That's how we power everything in the world. And 25% of the world's energy coming from that one little strait. So now we're not going to go to war with Iran, but I'm saying somebody in President Trump's ear is giving him a completely different calculation. They're giving him a completely different calculation that goes against what he campaigned on, and that goes against everything that's good for America, period. I don't care what you say. You could want to do the tough guy thing all y'all want to. And I'm saying the tough guy stuff is a virus for the United States. That's a virus. Bro, you got a $39 trillion debt. We cannot afford to be launching Tomahawk missiles at Iran unless it's for a reason, for a purpose. Listen, in America, we have weapons for self-defense. We make laws in our countries to where you can't use weapons for offensive measures. So I'm saying if you making some kind of calculation that you bombing Iran for self-defense, that could be understood, but the American people didn't buy it. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all. And so Senator Graham telling President Trump to go to Clark Island, that's like the same people advising the presidents in the days of Vietnam. I'm saying you gonna go to Clark Island. After you go to Clark Island, and I'm talking about Marines are gonna have to shed their life, I don't want none of this to happen. I don't care if you're a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you'd be cheering on. If you gotta hate President Trump, you'd be cheering on. I'm saying you cheering. I don't want none of this to happen. I don't want to say, hey, look, I told you so. I was right. Yep. But I don't want none of it to happen. This is for the good of America. What's good for the good of America, it's gonna be good for the good of Israel. It's going to be. Because Israel and American interests align. It's gonna be good for the interests of the Gulf states. And I'm saying if you work this right, it could be good for the good of Iran. We could get this done, bro, without all this chaos and confusion. President Trump, the big dog. So you look at the big dog, you gotta understand, he got the vote. He's the one was elected by the American people. The American people chose President Trump. If you value the Constitution, the thing I hate about Democrats is because they'll say we value the Constitution. And they'll lead you to believe. I believe a lot of them do. I know a lot of Democrats who do. The ACLU, it's a lot of people that I look at the Constitution as like one of the most marvelous documents that a man has ever wrote. Laws that has held the greatest nation in the history of the earth together. I look at it as a very marvelous document. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying if you respect and admire the Constitution, you realize that the Constitution provided you ways. If you wanted to remove a president from office, the Constitution provided you ways. You got to do it through Congress. You got to win elections. That's the rules. You can't get mad at any time and act like a little child and say, hey, then we gon', because I'm telling you, just like us, the Democrats and the independents who was telling President Trump not to go to war with Iran, just like we seen the unintended consequences with the Strait, the unintended consequences with the quagmire, the unintended consequences with, you get that? Just like we seen them I'm saying I see the unintended consequences if something happened to President Trump while he president. I see the unintended consequences. It's not good for the Constitution. Because you gotta always follow the rule of law. So the big dog gotta stay the big dog where the big dog is. You see what I'm saying? This is how you love America. This is the love of America. This is strategy for America. What independent strategies y'all know? I'll give strategy that helps Democrats and Republicans. A Republican or a Democrat, I don't care about none of that. For America, so for the good of America, President Trump is the president according to the Constitution. You gotta have people around him that's writing what I say is writing. This is what I call it. I call it writing the right answers on the chalkboard. You don't understand, President Trump is just a political figurehead. So he's getting his advice. Listen, how would President Trump ever know what's going on in Iran at any time? How would you know? Somebody else got to tell you. President Trump isn't in Iran. Somebody's telling him everything. He has people giving him advice. And I'm saying, I'm listening to the advice that these politicians, they're coming out on TV. And I ain't going to call some of y'all other names that y'all been so hawkish on Iran. Now, I ain't going to call some, but I'm listening to what they saying to some of these retired generals, and I'm listening to what they saying. And I'm like, hold on a second, man. Come on. Hold on a second. Something ain't right. You see what I'm saying? Somebody writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for President Trump. Because I'm saying whether or not you like the big dog or not, I'm saying you got to respect the Constitution and you got to play by the rules or you're going to become an evil, wicked person. You don't get to pick and choose who lives and dies. We don't get to do that. You start talking about the government on that level. Yeah, God gave them, like, they're gatekeepers in a way, but everybody needs to play by the rules. Let's play by the rules, man. Let's play by the rules. So if the big dog got to stay in the spot, then you got to have the right people around him putting the right answers on the chalkboard. That's good for the United States. That's good for Israel. That's good for Iran. That's good for... I'm going to tell y'all something. Listen to me. You can hate on President Obama's deal as much as you want to. That's on you. Was it the best deal? No. Could you have had a better deal than President Obama's? Of course. But what I'm trying to say is, in contrast, don't talk about the deal because President Trump don't have no deal. What deal President Trump has with Iran? So we can't compare a deal because he don't have a deal with Iran. He has an attempt at a deal, but he doesn't have a deal. So let's talk about the negotiations. Because what's factual is President Obama has negotiations and a deal, and President Trump has only negotiations. So I'm saying, look at the negotiations that President Obama had compared to President Trump, and compare the negotiations. I'm saying that's what America needs in this moment. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not going all the way against them. The action in Venezuela, it might have been necessary. You know what I'm saying? Flex some muscles at Russia and at China and Venezuela. That was necessary. It might have been necessary. I mean, you make America look good. Even the 12-day war with Israel, I'm saying you bombing Iran, that might have been necessary. I'm saying that helps America in my opinion, but what I'm trying to say is what you doing, with this long war with Iran, I think those are the wrong answers. And I'm not trying to jump around, but it's so important, Bond White and certified quality, how Lindsey Graham, y'all have been in this live stream and heard me talking about this. His name in particular. Talking about Clark Island, I heard him weeks ago. Or he's out there telling them, yeah, I think what we need to do is take Clark Island. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, so if the United States takes Clark Island, that means that the strait is going to be open. If the United States risks the lives of one U.S. Marine, that means the strait finna be open for you doing this. It's worth the cost. Okay, President Obama, I'm gonna go kill Osama bin Laden, so you might lose, just like you gonna go grab Maduro. It's worth the cost. So I'm saying you going to grab Maduro, y'all feel this, that's an objective. You go grab them and come back. If you lose, it's worth the cost. They put their hands on the Bible and they swore to defend the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So I'm saying it's worth, but I'm saying but I'm saying this something like a little different. So I'm saying Senator Graham, I'm listening to him talk. Y'all know Ghost now. And y'all know I'm not making no kind of money off of a war. You see what I'm saying? Some of these politicians, they're profiting off of this conflict continuing. You know what I'm saying? China, they're profiting in some kind of way. And Russia, it's benefiting them for this to continue. It's not benefiting the United States. You see what I'm saying? And I have an understanding of this that I could break this down for you. And I will continually as we do live streams. But I'm trying to think, let's get back to this Clark Island, though, that I heard Senator Graham, rest in peace. I'm thinking Senator Graham, so what's on Clark Island? Oh, Cargolin is an island that is a focal point where they have bases. See, we have to diminish their capability along the entire strait to where we have to bomb their facilities along the strait, and we have to. And Cargolin is a place that helps them to control the strait. So you said Carg Island is a place that helps them control the strait. Okay, so you take Carg Island. And let's just say you putting boots on the ground now. Let's just say you take, let's say 5 miles inland into Iran, right? So you could control, you could be the ones controlling the strait. I'm trying to find the logic in this. So that means that when you take Carg Island and you 5 miles inland, so you got all the coastal ways, right? So you controlling, they don't have nothing down there. But I'm saying they still in Tehran launching Shahed drones at you. From Tehran, launching Shahed drones at you. I'm trying to figure out how this make any sense, because you know it's a price to pay when you taking Carg Island. You talking, in my estimations, a minimum of 40 U.S. Marines will die, a minimum. Iran's goal is to kill all 5,000 of them. They said it publicly when President Trump was in Turkey to his face. Their goal is to kill all 5,000 Marines that will land on Carg, and President Trump too. Iran said it publicly. Israel, exposed a plot to President Trump, the intelligence, the Mossad, a plot. So I'm saying, like, he said it to your face, man. They're like, what you gonna do? Situation you in. But I'm trying to figure out, still, I can't let them slide. I can't let you slide. I'm trying to say, what we gonna accomplish when we take Carg Island? Because I'm saying, if you saying you want to diminish their capabilities along the okay, maybe you can, but you're not going to stop them from shooting a Shahed drone, number one. And number two, I'm saying you doing that, I'm telling you what's finna happen. That's going to take you 5 years. Because they're going to be like the Taliban. The IRGC is better, more trained. They're better equipped than the Taliban. They had more money to start with. So when they get in the desert, it's going to be like a ISIS on steroids. You finna recreate ISIS again, another ISIS. You're going to recreate another ISIS that's fighting against Americans in Iran or whatever like that. I'm saying it's a failed, completely failed. Everything about that is a failed strategy. You already got your foot in a pile of poo-poo. So you got to wash the poo-poo off your foot, man. You can't if you put 2 feet in a pile of poo-poo, it's not going to help the first foot that was in the poo-poo. Now you got 2 feet in poo-poo. That don't make no sense. What are you talking? That's why I said on the live stream yesterday, when we didn't know Senator Graham passed away, like, what they playing take the flag. That's what they playing. That's what I said yesterday. Certified quality, you know that. I said they playing take the flag. It's like, hey, we gonna run to Carg Island, and then they playing steal the flag. They want to get the Iranian flag from Carg Island and bring it back. But meanwhile, while you playing video games, you got 5,000 U.S. troops sitting there like ducks on a 5 mile by 3 mile island. And I'm saying you finna have drones. The Iranians are finna be flying drones like the Ukrainians do, like they already do. They probably got a special kind of Shahed drone you ain't even seen. Listen, all you need is about a $500 to $700 drone that the Iranians easily could put a weapon on it to kill a Marine, man. It's not, it don't take that much money. It don't take a $50,000 Shahed drone to kill a man if you're killing them with a drone. You just have to have the expertise and the drones and the money and the time. I'm saying, I've seen reports that the Iranians are rebuilding their nuclear sites. So they're already in their nuclear sites again. I'm saying, why the United States? It's like when President Obama had the Iranians under the threat of It's like they listen when they're under the threat. But it's like you trying to talk to them while you're bombing them. That's not working. That's not working. That's a failed strategy. I don't know whose idea that was. And then Lindsey Graham is pushing you further. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You got 40 U.S. Marines dying. And it's like, it's going to be like every day the drones. They sending drones at the Marines. Yeah, that's what it's. He get 40 U.S. Marines dead on his hand, bro. They going to be wanting to, like, there's people who will want to come to the White House and personally put their foot all the way up his 80-year-old rear end and kick him straight across the Atlantic. Nah, let me take that back. They gonna kick them north up to Canada, and they gonna let the Canadians finish them off. The Canadians want a piece of you, President Trump. You see what I'm saying? Ghost is protecting that man. That's what I'm doing. Lindsey Graham writing the wrong answers on the chartboard. Lindsey Graham stroking his ego and stuff. I don't know what's going on. Rest in peace, Senator Graham. But y'all know this. I talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to be fake and change anything I'm saying. Ain't nobody wanted Senator Graham to pass away. And we say rest in peace, and we pray for him and his family. He served in the United States Air Force for over 3 decades. And from all accounts, honorable. Just like I say John McCain. How you couldn't say Lindsey Graham was an American hero? It's just 71 years old, man. He passed his years. He passed his time. All these the only old senator that I want to see still in Congress really is not Joseph Biden, excuse me, Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie Sanders, it's like he got fresh ideas on the economy. He got all the fresh ideas on the economy. Bernie Sanders does. You see what I'm saying? But it's like these other senators, bro, it's like they got old, tired ideas. This is the same advice that was put out by the Republican Party during George Bush's days. We got to learn from that. We got to mature from that. We got to grow from that. And we cannot make the same mistakes as Americans. If you got the people behind the scenes or the people that's not President Trump, see, everybody's hating President Trump, but they hating President Trump's from whose advice? Benjamin Netanyahu? Because President Trump, if y'all haven't learned to listen to Ghost yet, I promise you, on that I'm telling you, that Clark Island President Trump, it's gonna be bad for y'all. Republicans, it's gonna be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to make America look bad, and we're going to have to prove ourselves. And here we go. With the tanks, with the troops, all this bad, expensive equipment, well-trained Marines, and here come the world's most powerful army storming the coast of Iran. For what? Because you got to get the American people to go to the coast of Iran with you. Because if the American people said, we're not going to Iran, I don't care how many troops you send in November, you're going to feel it. I promise you. I'm just warning you. Clark Island is not the answer. You're going in the wrong direction. You know what President Trump said? President Trump said the Iranians, we gonna get to talking again next week. That's the right direction. That's the right direction. If you try one time and you fell in it, you got to pick yourself up and get up and try again. If you fail again at them negotiations, you got to pick yourself up and try again. If you fail again at them negotiations, you got to because I'm going to tell you what it is. In the end, listen, if you negotiate with them correctly, that strait will be open. If you negotiate with them correctly, the strait will be open and stay open. If you negotiate with them correctly, they're going to allow you to get the nuclear dust, and they'll allow inspectors in. They're tough, they're mean, Ghost. You knew that before you went over there. You knew that they would kill their own people. This dude would kill his own citizens, his own kindred. So I'm saying, you know what you're dealing with. You call them the largest state sponsor of terror. So before you went even and got into it, the scuffle with them, you know what you was doing. You see what I'm saying? You know exactly what you was doing. You know exactly what you was getting into the entire time, man. You got to stay focused. You can't listen to people's mouths and people saying irrelevant stuff. People who don't have no power, the only power they have is the power of their tongue. You got to stay focused on your goals. Even whatever somebody's saying, I'm not paying no attention to you, man. I'm staying focused on my goals. I have goals that I'm in New York. I start every live stream and tell y'all I have goals. I don't care about what nobody around here saying. I have to achieve them goals. And then for me to achieve them goals mean it's right here in New England. Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, right here in New England. I got goals, and I'm staying focused on my goals. And I'm saying if we got goals, our goals is to complete them negotiations successfully. Don't get sidetracked off the goal. And I'm saying I know President Trump to some degree. He didn't listen to. And I'm saying, oh, we got to go do Iran and we got to do that. We ain't got to do none of that. And rest in peace to Senator Graham. That ain't none of what we got to do, man. You see what I'm saying? Listen, President Trump, I'm talking about this is his mouth, his goals. These are all his goals. Him telling Benjamin Netanyahu, no one likes you. That's the same thing him telling Senator Graham. He might as well told Senator Graham, like, Senator Graham, your homie, or Senator Graham, your friend. I'm saying maybe they were good friends. I know he a top advisor, especially on foreign policy. But I'm talking about your goals, though. Listen, and don't get me wrong, like talking like Senator Graham was just a bum senator. Senator Graham was a good senator for decades. I'm going to say Senator Graham, like during certain times, like him and like Senator Kelly, I say, you know, they all on the same page in certain times and certain things. I'm saying supporting. There was times when the United States, when we dealt with foreign policies, or we were more united than what we are right now. And I'm saying where we are right now, I'm saying we just got to be with the facts and the truth. You see what I'm saying? We got to stay with the facts and the truth. And I'm saying, like, staying with the facts and the truth, people just don't be wanting to hear the truth, and they be thinking they know stuff that they really don't know, and they be wrong. And I'm saying, the advice you gave him maybe in the 80s, or the advice you gave President Bush, or what you were saying President Obama need to be tougher, or what he's saying about Ukraine. But I'm saying what's going on right now with Cargill and Iran, like, that's the wrong answers that they writing on the chalkboard. Listen, Benjamin Netanyahu, I had said it, I see President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu end up falling out in the end. But I'm saying I could understand Benjamin, like, he got his own aspirations for Israel. He not an American. He's not working for President Trump. He working for himself and for Israel. That's number one. And number two is that Benjamin is pretty consistent, because he's saying the same stuff he's been saying since the 90s. It ain't like you could say, okay, Benjamin Netanyahu, like, you wrong for the advice you gave. But nah, you can't say, because I'm saying every single, that's like Rand Paul. It's the same situation. It's like those people who are considered, like AOC. With those progressive policies, she said when she first came out, she knew that the American people were not gonna, but she said she knew eventually they were gonna grow more popular in the future. The future is here now, but people will listen to that kind of stuff because she been saying it the whole time she been out. You feel that? So, man, I want to say, man, rest in peace to Senator Graham, man. I see y'all down there. I appreciate y'all stopping in. Y'all tuning in, man, you know what I'm saying? Special edition of Legal Wars Live. Senator Graham, You know what I'm saying? I mean, he went to from Ukraine, man, and Kyiv on Friday to him being dead. It's unbelievable, man. I'm talking about that's what perplexed me the most. It's like someone has to know that he's sick, right? Someone has to know. I mean, he is 71, so you expect someone who's 71 to have some kind of something, right? You expect a 71-year-old to legit be all the way completely healthy? No, they just hiding the stuff. Old men and their old policies. I think that's what makes empires die. Am I wrong? I'm saying the emperors or whatever that they had in Iran, I'm saying, were they old men? I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe y'all know, somebody know, y'all could put it down below in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, because I know in Great Britain, you know what I'm saying, the British Empire, you had old kings and queens, old men. At a paramount time in American history, the last time Americans really been satisfied, we had a 40-something-year-old president named Barack Obama. And I'm saying he was a polished politician, probably too polished. But I'm saying, y'all see how we navigated through those situations. Y'all see the navigations America had through. But I'm saying, like, so I'm saying, Bon White, we got to get the right people around President Trump to give the right kind of advice, man. That's the only way, man, I think we're going to be able to do this moving forward. You guys have not liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Guys, 14 days in a row we've been live out here on the road in Central Park, Upper West Side of Manhattan, man. You know what I'm talking about? Out here doing this, man. Tax the Rich Tour. It's like episode number 81. That's 21 days straight I'm going to give y'all with no lunch breaks. I'm going to deliver those 100 live streams by July 31st. 100 live streams in 90 days. To go along with that, I'll probably do like 90 or so shorts and vlogs, 10 vlogs. Channel memberships, $2.99. You guys want to become a member of the channel, hit the button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. You get access to exclusive content like Tax the Rich number 9. How many channel members? We don't have no channel members in the stream right now. We got 39, I believe. How many of y'all 39 have watched Tax the Rich number 9? Because y'all are the only ones who can see it right now. Excuse me, guys. Will y'all pardon me, please? About 50 minutes we've been streaming. Someone said, I like this too. Hold on, let me get the right person. Someone says, Alex Jones, Candace Owens, and Tucker are the real MAGA. What y'all think? Do y'all think Alex Jones, Tucker, and Candace? I think they kind of are, though, really. I'm not saying that President Trump's are, but I'm saying, so Candace, Tucker, and all those people, they gon' continue MAGA and the MAGA legacy once President Trump isn't president anymore. We don't care if Trump has money. We're not jealous of people that have monies as lefties are. Bro, ain't nobody jealous of nobody who got no money. That's crazy. Who's jealous of President Trump because he's got money? No one's saying, listen, you don't hear me. You show me one live stream that I got entitled in anything that I do, show me one live stream that I got entitled President Trump or corruption or $400 million planes or gold toilet seats at the White House and gold Oval Office letters or what I'm saying, you didn't hear or making 2.2 billion in a year. You'll hear me comment on it because it's news, like I comment on any news, but y'all never hear me say at any time, y'all never hear me dogging on President Trump like that saying that about corruption. Like, I don't even talk about that. I don't care how much money you make. I care about what you're doing for the American people. That's what we talking about. You could get all the money you want to, but you're supposed to do something for the American people. That's what we talking about. That's what the American people elected you for, is for you to do something for them. I don't care how much money you get. Get your money, baby. He was a billionaire before he came to the White House. He gonna a billionaire before he leave. Lefties might care. I'm not a lefty. I tell y'all all the time I'm an independent. Brian, what's up, baby? Do you think Senator Graham death should be investigated after coming back from Ukraine a day or so? If you ask me, I would say yes. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna delve into any of that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna look at you before I talk to you about that. I'm not going to delve into any of that. I believe the proper investigation is going to be done. I think a lot of people love Senator Graham, Brian, and I think a lot of people have a lot of respect for Senator Graham. For any man 71 years old to die suddenly of an illness, especially a day or so after you came back from Ukraine, and we didn't at all know that you were sick, I'm saying, what? I mean, like, that's, to me, that's almost common sense that has to be investigated. When you guys say so, it's almost common sense. But I'm saying I'm not in the place or position to speak on none of that. I just speak on strategy. What should happen moving forward? The reason why I thought it was so important, I think Senator Graham was a very important piece on this chessboard. I think the top 5 important pieces on this chessboard is Charlie Kirk. Senator Graham was one of them. President Trump, of course. Excuse me. Excuse me. Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm talking about Iran. And the vice president. I think those are the top 5 pieces on the chessboard as far as Iran. Senator Graham, Charlie Kirk, Benjamin Netanyahu, President Trump, and J.D. Vance. So President Trump being the president, if he gonna listen to the 4 people, those are the 4 voices he gonna listen to. One of the voices, the loudest voices of dissent against this war, who somebody just said Candace, Tucker, and them, the real MAGA. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying one of their chief voices, Charlie Kirk, was killed. So the loudest voices that was left was Benjamin, Senator Lindsey Graham, and J.D. Vance. J.D. was the only hope to get out of this war for the cat. I'm saying the closest to President Trump. Because I'm saying, remember, we following the law. President Trump is president. So I'm saying we got to stay alive. We want to keep the American empire alive. And I know, like I said, I know General Kane. I was in the military, Brian. Listen, they're not political. Some of the generals are political. They become TV. They're into making money. I'm saying, like, everybody's into making. I don't hate on people making money, but I'm saying I know General Kane in political. I know President Trump, trust him, and he handpicked him. And I know General Kane is telling President Trump, he's warning him about all the things that we talk about. If you put U.S. troops on Card Island, they're going to be sitting ducks. And I don't think it's no turning back from a full-fledged war with Iran if you do that. And I'm saying, you hearing Senator Graham, which we talked about 2 or 3 days ago, Brian C. You hearing Senator Graham come out and say, hey, Card Island. And I went over, what you putting troops on Card Island for? Is that going to stop the conflict? No. What's going to stop the conflict? Negotiations. You're going to have to do it. They could back off for 20 years and come straight back and enact the same terror. They're going to enact terror on you. If you put troops on them, they're going to enact terror on you for 20 years. This is their country. This is their livelihood. When will we rest? When will we rest If there were Russians or Chinese within the American border, some of y'all men, y'all gonna go into a room and hide. I'm not going to hide. This is my country. You gotta stand 10 and defend your country. That's the mentality. You gotta understand that. And then they're not educated, or they don't have the money that Americans have. They don't believe in democracy. They're criminals, they're evil people. You gotta understand all of this. The American people, it's not just that the American people don't want, listen to this, this is profound. It's not just that the American people don't want to go to a war that we should or shouldn't go to. It's not that just that the American people are against the war. It's not just that. I'm trying to tell you, in this situation, it's not just that gas prices and inflation will get higher. It's not just that. It's that this is a bad decision. And the carry through of this decision could be harmful to the United States for many generations. This work could be where we go bleed out at. I said that. This is where your empire bleed out at. To me, it's almost like you could say it's senseless violence. I mean, listen, when you make your point with your weapons, Brian, that's all you got to do. Make your point with your weapons. You don't have to continue to the point to where it's like you're gonna get America involved in a war for the next 20 years. Like I'm telling you, the military lead, they know, like, and then it's just no, it's the wrong answers on the chalkboard. Don't write the wrong answers on the chalkboard for the president. Don't write the wrong answers. That's the problem. I'm saying, as far as Iran, Charlie Kirk didn't write the wrong answers on the chalkboard. That's a voice that he should have kept, or that should have stayed around. Mitch is now discussing his strategy with Lindsey Graham personally. Oh, so Mitch McConnell passed away too? Is somebody saying Mitch McConnell passed away? Brian C. says, as long as the RGC and the current regime is in place, there will be no peace with Iran. Don't matter and what president is in. That's not true, Brian C. Because the current regime and the RGC was in command, and President Obama had peace with Iran. Brian C., you are looking for a specific type of quote unquote peace. President Trump was looking for a specific type of quote unquote peace. The Republicans and Fox News, no, we gotta tear up the document. That's working. That's a fatal error. That's a fatal error. And I'm saying the people that know, and they listen to Ghost, they know Ghost know exactly what he's talking about, and they see the error in that. What? You got a document that's working, Brian C. President Trump said, oh, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon. We know, Brian C., when Obama was in office, Iran didn't have a nuclear weapon. When he made the deal, he didn't have a nuclear weapon. When Joe Biden came, President Trump came, first, tore up the deal. They still didn't have a nuclear weapon. When President Biden came, they didn't have a nuclear weapon. President Trump come back in again and say, all of a sudden, they're about to have a nuclear weapon. Dude, you tore up the deal, and it's been almost 10 years. What you expect to happen? You stopped the inspectors from going into Iran, and I'm saying, you doing that, I'm saying, Brian C., what has America accomplished since that has happened? Because President Trump's strategy to this point has been an epic failure. And I'm saying the ones who advising him, somebody got to pay, man. The ones who advising him, come on, bro, we cannot continually delve. You're going to destroy the dynasty. You're going to destroy the greatness. You're going to destroy it. You're going to destroy it. Bro, we spent 20 plus years and borrowed $8 trillion to continue to fight someone else's war for someone else's strait. That if we didn't go poke the grizzly bear or poke the bees, Brian C., then we wouldn't even have a problem with the strait. we wouldn't even have that problem. President Trump listening to Lindsey. Like I said, I'm not gonna blame BB that much because that's BB's job, and BB been preaching the same sermon to the same president. It's just President Trump, he fell for the bait. He the one fell for it. Brian says there was no peace when Iran when we didn't. So you saying what we have right now with Iran is peace, but what Obama had with Iran was not peace. Brian, see, that's the problem. Y'all look at, you want to make it be what you want to make it be instead of seeing it for what it is. I see things for what they are, not for what I want them to be. Obama didn't have peace with Iran when he was in office, but Trump did. This is what you call peace with Iran. What's going on with President Trump, Brian C., in Iran today, that's what you call peace. But what happened with the United States with no Strait being affected, and Obama, no Strait being affected, with Obama, no missiles, no munitions, no Americans dead, no hundreds injured, no threats of a ground invasion with Obama, you saying that's not peace. But what you got right now with President Trump and the Iranians, that's the Republicans' version of peace. Rest in peace to Lindsey Graham. Rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm saying the Democrats sitting back here, they watching, and Charlie Kirk passes away. And I'm saying that I know, Brian C., a lot of Democrats might say, they might celebrate that because of the stuff he said about, but I'm saying Charlie Kirk, he had good advice for America. I'm saying the stuff he telling President Trump, good advice for America isn't telling him about the racial stuff, the social issues, the domestic issues. For what domestic issues in America do we talk about? The big beautiful bill, Brian C.? Everything we doing, President Trump, he putting an oil blockade on Cuba. He finna go to war with Cuba. So we need to be doing live streams about Cuba. He's supposed to be ending a war that killed almost 1.5 million people. The most people in a conflict since the world wars. This many people don't die in modern day times and conflicts than Russia. You the American leader, you supposed to be ending that. I'm saying, well, you ain't got to focus on domestic politics about Charlie Kirk. I'm saying if we looking at foreign policy, Lindsey Graham and Charlie Kirk, yeah, just one on each side. One saying fight and the other one saying it's a huge error. And the huge error, the one saying that he lost. And President Trump calculations been done, and now Lindsey Graham and them losing. As in, they should. That's the greatest for America, for the United States. That war wasn't good for the United States at all. You got to explain how. I'm saying General Kane, he looking at the munitions that we have, the depleted munitions. He reporting this to President Trump. His job isn't to be political. His job is to give President Trump analysis. Yeah, he developed strategy in war, but not political strategy. He giving President Trump data and numbers and situations. That's what General Kane's doing. And under a normal situation, President Obama, he gonna say, nah, we not gonna do that right there, because if we do that right here, that's what, yeah, then we gonna be in a forever war with Iran over a strait that we shouldn't have never fooled with in the first place. Brian C. says there was no peace when Iran, Obama's and all, there's no peace right now. Well, nah, you can't compare it. There was peace with Iran when Obama was in office. You just looking at that. You got to stop looking at stuff the way you want it to be. And you got to look at it for what it really is. People, I'm talking about powerful men, they do this bad. They look at a person and they want this person to be something. Or they said this person was something and they got a lot of money in their words. So they he's gonna create it. You not God, you're not the creator. You go create a YouTube video. Certain stuff you cannot create. You cannot, that's propaganda. Those are lies. Once the people see the lies, they gonna spew you out their mouth. What you do, Brian, see when you see a liar, you gonna throw him up across. See, the thing where you get respect, ghosts get respect because of that integrity. And them people, they know I'm not lying to them. They know I'm not gonna lie to them. They know I'm gonna tell them the truth. They know I'm gonna be authentic. And they know it's gonna be from my heart. And they know my heart is good. You might curse somebody out down the street, but they know my heart is good. They know, they looking at these politicians and they know this dude's heart is way better than them. Them some evil people. And that dude right there, he's a good dude. He's a genuinely a great-hearted person. That's the difference with me. Great heart, heart of gold. Love everybody. I want the best for all of us. Who wouldn't? President Trump come in the White House, he preaching it. A golden age for all Americans. A golden age. He an age of peace to the whole world. Everlasting peace on the whole world. Trying to get everybody on the same page. And look what we end up instead. Rest in peace to Lindsey Graham. What can I say? I'm saying some people felt that about Charlie Kirk. I understand that's more of a partisan thing. Some people felt that about Charlie Kirk. I could understand Michelle Obama or Sasha Obama or Malia Obama or Barack Obama. You see what I'm saying? Or a Democrat or Valerie Jarrett. You see what I'm saying? Or Axelrod, like someone who was close to them, like taking offense. So you talking about this woman that I know is a great woman. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, I could understand that in a situation with them, but I'm saying, like, if you look at the advice that man is giving, him saying for us not to engage in this conflict, that's the best advice. That's the best advice. You gotta lose that ego in trying to exercise dominance. You have to lose that. That destroyed every empire before ours, and it's going to destroy ours. General Kane will tell you, I guarantee you, if he leave, be on one accord. Because that means he's gonna see, he thinking straight-headed and straight-minded and straight goals. I'm telling, I know how the military it goes, achieving a goal and an objective. But I'm saying, if you got the person right and the wrong answers, Lindsey Graham served in the Air Force for 30 years, the wrong answers on the chalkboard, the wrong answers. Or, like I'm saying, I don't want to call nobody's name, but I heard one of the famous podcasters, one of the ones we called out to, Tucker, he'll talk about Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz. Tucker and Ted Cruz. It's just, you don't hear Ted Cruz out there doing so much talking, at least I don't, about being like aggressive like that, because that's not what America wants. Y'all could look at the Democrats all y'all want to. That's on you. Because that's why you have all the independents. The independents, they ran on this side with y'all Republicans for the last election. And then when they start seeing what President Trump, the executive orders and what he doing, oh, he just being regular Republican. He ran back over here with the Democrats. So now you have all the people sitting over here with the Democrats, but it's not about the Democrats, it's about y'all Republicans. And the decisions that you make, that's swinging the pendulum, that's swinging the voters going from left to right. Somebody very intelligent is listening to Ghost. Powerful and intelligent. And they know that he got the answers, and he got the right answers. The right answers. Our focus, baby, America. President Trump, the White House, the military, the CIA, our focus should be on the negotiations. Let's get some good negotiations. Let's get some good negotiators. Let's bring an everlasting peace to the world. You got the opportunity at greatness. It's right in your nose. JD Vance, I know you could smell it. Hey, hey, JD, can you smell greatness? I could smell greatness. They say, what you smell? You smell Ghost Rider? Oh, yeah, you going to smell Ghost Rider a couple months. Ghost Rider going to smell like greatness and success. Couple of months. Greatness and success. JD Vance, you got to smell that greatness. It's right around the corner. Get that nuclear dust, Brian C., and then you can say we did better than Obama. You have to have that nuclear dust to justify your actions, because you never went to war in the beginning over the Strait of Hormuz. So the Strait of Hormuz being closed is your error. You went to war over Iran's nuclear capabilities and that nuclear material they have. I'm giving President Trump, Republicans, I'm giving y'all the clearest playbook to win right now. Y'all have to, the money needs to be for the nuclear dust, not the straight opening. I'm telling you, you're gonna listen. There's a different negotiation to open the strait. You gonna keep going tic-tac and knit-knack paddywhack with them over the strait. Look. The goal was, hey, we gonna negotiate to open the strait. And then the reason why we really went to the war is the nuclear dust. That's gonna take some while. That's gonna take some time. To me, that didn't make no sense at all. The entire time you negotiating over that nuclear dust or a nuclear turn, you gonna knit-knack paddywhack. Y'all gonna keep on trading strikes. The way President Trump is and how crazy the Iranians are. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, for them to talk to you, they want their money, they want their sanction, they want them billions frozen. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. I want the nuclear dust more than anything in this situation. I don't care about the strait. The strait gonna eventually get open. You see what I'm saying? China and them, the major players, Europe, once they get really sick of this, with the strait gonna get open. Not worried. They a lot of people, powerful people, they writing the wrong answers on the board for President Trump. A lot of people want to see President Trump bumble and fumble. So that's what I'm saying. Look, you get that nuclear dust. Let me finish it. You get the nuclear dust. After you get the nuclear dust, your next goal or objective should be, and then I would unfreeze the money for the dust. I ain't doing, you cannot do, it's going to be so hard for you to get in a Obama type negotiation. That's what it's going to take for you to get it's done. 2 years back and forth, closed doors. The Iranians not saying nothing. The Americans not saying nothing. The Israelis quit fight. It's gonna take. It's gonna take. So, and that could take past president. This is just what I'm saying. You get that. I'm telling you, because you do it this way, you get that nuclear dust. I'll give you bread for the dust. I'ma buy that nuclear dust with your own money. Tell me that's not pimp, Brian C. We got your money froze, so I'm going to take your money and I'm going to put my hands on that nuclear dust. I want Americans to go down there with the equipment and go get that. I'm saying, you want boots on the ground, you want to see what they doing. I mean, that just a part of you. I want that nuclear dust. That would be number one. After I get that nuclear dust, then my next thing would be about their capabilities to be able to build a nuclear weapon. You're gonna have to get American inspectors in there. How can you get to the point to allow the inspectors there if you got so much hatred and vitriol? But the focus is the negotiations. That's the focus. That's what I'm saying. If you put your focus on, listen, look, I think this was my daddy told me this. He told me, this is how I learned how. He said, you just, whatever problem you have, he said, focus on that problem. And the way you change it is he said, you try to be great. Just stay focused on, I ain't going to do this. I'm going to fix this. And you be greatness. Focus on the problem. Nuclear dust. You got the nuclear dust. Your next thing is you have to get inspectors into that country. After you get inspectors into that country, I think over a process of y'all continuing to deal with each other and understanding each other, you're gonna have to eventually come to some kind of conclusion over the strait. They trying to get the strait open first. I think because Iran knows as soon as you get, I don't care. Look, the Iranians messed up. It's not like President Trump ordered General Kane and them to do something. They didn't do nothing this time. The Iranians are the ones who messed up. They violated the agreement. The Iranians did it. And I think President Trump's language isn't helping it. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that your focus is the negotiations. You are going, there's no, I don't see no way, nothing on the chessboard shows me how the United States could withdraw from Iran and leave that situation like it is. You cannot do that. You know you cannot. President Trump saying the dust is so far underground they can't get to it. Okay, you don't want to get the dust, that's on you. I think you're gonna have to end up having a problem because I seen reports the Iranians, they at them nuclear sites right now will be rebuilding it. Bro, it'd be reports that they have the dust in their hands in a year or two. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're not solving no problem. I'm telling you how to solve the problem. Put the dust in your hands. That should be goal number one. That's what it's going to take for me, y'all, when I go to the Iranians, listen, they trying to assassinate me, all this, whatever. Forget all that. Listen, guys, you need somebody regular with some common sense who can negotiate. I play hardball with attorneys. I didn't talk to attorneys in ways that you could not imagine. I'm talking about my voice at the highest, yelling and screaming at a man that I need to pay me, and he paid me, and she paid me, and he paid me. You see what I'm saying? But I never would threaten. It's a way you negotiate. You could be tough with them. Listen, I just want that dust, and I need to come get that dust. I want the dust. I need to come get the dust. So how much money for the dust? Let me come get the dust. When I get the dust back, okay, you know eventually that strait gonna have to get open. Europe eventually will have to get in it. You see what I'm saying? They'll have to. It's gonna hurt the. So you got the dust back, okay? You know that about the strait. My next thing is what reason did I go to Iran? I want to ensure or secure that we're not going to have to 20 years. I want inspectors coming. Iran, listen, this second phase, you have to negotiate a little bit more because your goal is to ensure that they cannot have a nuclear bomb or a nuclear weapon. That was your goal. That's what you move. It's about the negotiations and your ability to be able to negotiate with them. You're going to have to negotiate with them. You done dropped enough bombs. You done proved enough points. Now you need to focus on being able to get this done. You know they crazy. You know they don't honor their word. You know everything you need to know. Get it done. Get her done. America is full of talented negotiators, professionals. The military full of negotiators. The military full of great negotiators. New York City, I guarantee you, their police department got plenty of great negotiators. You got plenty of professional people who are not going to be coming on CNN. President Trump, I told y'all you need to take Big Dog off this, man. Because he going to keep commenting. And when he comment, you know they got to say something. And then you're going to be back and forth. And in his ear, rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. Rest in peace. Because to me, that's like one of the biggest problems, who in his ears. Don't write the wrong answers on the chalkboard, because I'm saying this is hurting America. Like, literally, y'all thinking gas prices, y'all thinking inflation, I'm thinking our standing on the world stage. I'm thinking soft power. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking no boots on Card Island. I'm thinking embarrassment to the greatest military on earth like you've seen in Afghanistan. You don't want to keep repeating that. How many Marines you want to die, General Kane? 0. That's what I'm saying. If you giving me an objective, that I need to accomplish, go snatch Maduro or go kill bin Laden. How many Marines you want to die? Zero, but it's worth the risk. Cargallen, you just capturing a flag. They still shooting drones, and after you done took 5 years to secure the strait, it's just gonna be like in Iraq and Afghanistan. They gonna be suicide bombing you the whole time you there. You gotta kill 100 million people, and you can't do that. The whole world will turn against you. That's the only thing you gotta kill all of them, and you can't do that. So you gotta work within the parameters that God set up for you to work within. Of course, Israel, bro. If you ask me personally, I believe in a one-state solution in Israel. My personal opinion. I know a lot of Democrats and independents and some of my podcasting friends, they gonna hate me for saying that. But I heard Benjamin say something that made sense, and I've been critical of Benjamin. But he said serving within the Knesset Titan brew within the parliament, he had Muslim Palestinians. So it's like, give the Palestinians a voice in one government. Let them, maybe one day in the future, you could have a Palestinian president. Just like we had a black president, unite them. I mean, common sense solutions. You gotta try stuff different, President Trump, but you gotta try something different that's gonna work. You can't be up there doing no wild man stuff. Listening to these old politicians. Rest in peace to Lindsey Graham. If you guys haven't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me. Titan Brew, we pray that don't happen. You see what I'm saying? We pray that don't happen. We pray that negotiations is the way out of this. That's the best thing for America. That's the best thing for Israel. That's the best thing for Europe. That's the best thing for the whole situation is to negotiate your way out of this. That's the best way. What am I saying wrong? What did I say wrong? Negotiate. What's wrong with negotiating? You're going to have to negotiate anyway eventually. You're going to have to do it. Have to. You can't get around it. You cannot leave that straight like that. Iran, you cannot let them think they have control. You got to negotiate. Get good at your negotiations. That's where you start. That's where you get the negotiations good. President Trump, a businessman. You got a problem in the business, and the problem with America and Iran is we're going to a larger conflict. That don't matter. If it's a small conflict or a large conflict, it's not over, right? So why does that matter? Y'all need ghosts, man. Y'all need me. So I'm saying, like, so since that don't matter, I'm saying how we get through this? I know one thing. I know they sat down and negotiate and started fighting. I know they sat down and negotiate and started fighting. Yeah. And I know the third time they had what they called a memorandum, and then they started fighting. So the problem is the negotiating. You could say President Trump popping off. Yeah, that's a problem. The Iranians being crazy, yeah, that's a problem. But I'm saying that's why I'm telling you, you get negotiators in that situation and you try to back President Trump out as much as possible. Get professional people in that situation to get the job done. You got to swallow your pride and swallow your ego and do this for America. Sit your hat down and do this for your country. You love America or do you love you? See, that's the thing ghosts do, because I'm real and authentic. I'm going to bring the real and authentic out you. You love America, or is it you who you love? Somebody said President Trump, I'm not trying to be a president. If you know who ghosts is, this political strategy. You know, I want to have President Trump here because I got the answers. Or at least if I don't have the answers, he need to hear my opinion. I promise you, hearing my opinion is very powerful. Because he'll sit there and watch as I say things how, listen, if the military really want to know a strategy, they could do this in 10 seconds. They got all the technology. Put the AI on it. Bro, my stuff is be more on point than the AI. The AI can't predict as good as I can. If I'm telling you, whenever you get that AGI, what they call it, that super intelligence, everything that super intelligence say, that's what's gonna run the world eventually. I'm saying you got super intelligence right here, right now. You don't need who's a human. I'm gonna give you all the strategy that you need, the things you need to do the right thing, not what you want to do, not what's good for the Republicans, not what's good for the Democrats, what's good for America. And if I was advising a Democrat, I'd be telling AOC to do what's good for America, not what's good for the progressives, not what's good for your party, what's good for the United States of America under all circumstances. It's about the whole. Ain't no man bigger than the program. I don't want to take your money. We just got to make sure that y'all ain't bigger than the program. You ain't bigger than the program. The program is America. It's not your organization. The program is America. It's not the police. It's not the military. It's the people. It's the laws. The laws and the people. That's the program. You're not bigger than that. No one is. Facts. Somebody said Eric sounds stupid. I'm not on Trump's nothing. That's crazy. He do sound stupid, Bon. He sound real stupid. All I'm doing is speaking the facts. You can't hate me. You can't make me hate President Trump, and you can't make me love President Trump. That's what people could do to y'all because y'all crash dummies. I'm saying, you know who could make me hate President Trump? President Trump. You know who could make me love President Trump? President Trump. You can't make me hate him, and you can't make me love him. That's how I'm different than you. That's why they respect my words and not yours. That's why I got integrity. See, listen, on the bottom level, it don't matter what happened with the bottom feeders. And it's like people who above my level, they looking down and hearing, and they like, bro, he below me. But what I'm saying, the power, they know what I'm saying is facts. It's all facts. It's what's great for America. I don't have no contract with no drone companies or no defense. You might have a contract with that we don't know nothing about. And if the United States land troops on Carg Island, your stock in your drone company might go up. But I know for a fact at least 30 to 40 Americans probably gonna die. See, I don't have no situations like that. What I'm telling you is just straight, real facts. I have the education, I have the experience. Facts. You said my facts aren't everybody's truth. It might not be the truth, but they still facts. Lindsey Graham was writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for President Trump. Rest in peace to Lindsey Graham, who I don't think he is going to get a state funeral. He should. And I'm saying he was a great American hero. Rest in peace. But you cannot write that wrong answers on the chalkboard for the big dog. Globalists might be the enemy, maybe they are, but I'm saying, like, we live in an economy in a world that is global. If you don't want to focus on the globe, let China focus on the globe, and China gonna take the leadership of the globe. China's already deporting to so many more countries than us. They're larger manufacturing. I'm saying, like, they're competing and trying to become where we are. So I'm saying, in order for you to be the leader of the globe, you don't shun Europe, you lead Europe. For you to be the leader of the globe, you don't shun Africa, you lead Africa. You don't shun China, you lead China. We get the point on China and Russia attempting to lead, even though it might not be working out, but that's a great attempt. That's what you do. With Europe, if you play it right, they loved President Obama. They loved Obama in Europe more than America did. You say, oh, it's because they're all liberal governments. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. That's the infection with America. It's just funny how I say stuff is an infection. Rest in peace, Senator Graham. Y'all are in some situations, it's a virus to America. Your hatred is a virus. Your hatred is an enemy of peace and stability in the world. Your hatred. Your love for your Republican Party more than your love for your country or your brother or your neighbor, it's a virus and an infection to the whole world, boy. I'm trying to tell you. You got to get out of how you feel and on your mind. It's a whole new world you need to come to. That's why anybody who match up against me and strategize against me will get completely slaughtered or defeated. The way the men beat me is they have to rely on their money. I'm saying on that chessboard, I'm talking about mano y mano, where all the resources are equal, or even if I'm going to outthink them. Because they in the wrong place. They create realities. We create. The reason I could preach it, because I used to do it. I used to create realities, bro. I used to think I was a rapper. I used to tell people I'm from New York City. I just got to first time visiting New York City was in 2025. You feel me? You create realities, man. Who cares about ain't nobody listen, how you gonna hate on the Jews? I don't hate on the Jewish people, I don't hate on the Muslim people, I don't hate on the white people, I don't hate on the black people. We are all humans, period. I don't care what you are a human being, period. Lindsey Graham was a human being, period. He deserves the same justice every other human deserves, period. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, rest in peace, but you can't write the wrong answers on the chalkboard for the big dog. You saying Trump is selling Turkey? That's his decision. Is he the president? So he could decide to do that. If I was him, would I do that? I probably wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But I think the greater issue to me is that, you know what I'm saying, what I see happening is the United States solving the problem with Iran and Israel, and then Israel, their next problem gonna be Turkey. So Turkey gonna be the next Iran. So I'm saying the way the world looks at it, I'm saying, okay, we understand that you got the problem with the Palestinians in Gaza. We understand that problem. And then I'm saying, so we understand you didn't have a problem, Benjamin, with Netanyahu. Now you saying Turkey, man, come on, man, Benjamin. I'm saying we got to get to a point to where we don't have to fight like that in the middle. Listen to me. You got to in Manhattan. I'm telling you, I see it. I do a vlog on it. Like up here on the Upper West Side. In Manhattan, you got more Jewish congregations than you do Muslims and Christians. In Manhattan, you got more Muslims congregations than you have Christians. And yet and still in Manhattan, Muslims, Christians, and Jews live in complete peace. You can't tell me that those Muslims that live in Manhattan believe any different than a Muslim in Saudi Arabia or Iran unless they're a Shiite or Sunni. You can't tell me that a Christian in Iraq believes any different than a Christian in America unless they're Catholic or Baptist or Presbyterian. You can't tell me that a Jewish person believes any different than one in Israel. It's the same religion, yet and still in Manhattan, somehow they're all peaceful. I'm saying you go to Queens and I'm saying you see them women in Jamaica and in that Muslim attire. I'm talking about I'm talking about schools, whole schools of Muslims everywhere. Christians everywhere and Jews everywhere. And ain't none of them getting in no kind of beef or no kind of fight. I'm from Mississippi. In Mississippi, we used to seeing either black or seeing either white. That's what we used to see, black or white. You see Muslims, but you might see a man wear that or a woman wear something on their head. You don't see it like in Queens. I'm talking about they look like they in Iran or Saudi Arabia or Iraq. I'm talking about straight. So me from Mississippi, that's seeing something. So I research, and I see it's more Jewish congregations in Manhattan than Christians and Muslims. It's more Muslims than Christians. And then yet and still they all getting along. So I'm saying you keep having this same problem over and over and over. Who the problem? BB, I'm saying like there's a different way that you can solve these issues that you have. October of 2023 was horrible. What they did to Israel was horrible. But I'm saying this is what, 3 years later. You got your hostages back. You got, and I'm saying like, so how long we gonna do this for? 4 years later, 5 years later, President Trump, you could kiss your golden age goodbye. As long as you got that going on in the world, you're not gonna fully be able to get to what you're trying to get to, what you're trying to accomplish, because you got to keep worrying about dust-ups in Asia. Turkish nationalism must be rampant because they want jets. No, they want jets because they want to compete with Israel. Benjamin know what he doing. Turkey looking at Israel, and Turkey see that air supremacy, and they say they don't really want that with Israel. You see what I'm saying? So Turkey said, hey, they want some American jets too. He said, hey, look, Egeron said, hey, I know President T, that's my dog. So look, Benjamin, I could go get them same weapons you got. You know, America, the weapons store, they got all the best weapons. So, you know, America been supporting Israel. That's our friends. You know what I'm saying? Turkey, you all could live in peace. You could live in peace. You always got to look at it. They could live in peace. I don't care if it's a temporary peace. Germany is living in an everlasting peace. Where my Republicans at? Where all my Reagan lovers at? The nation of Germany is living in an everlasting peace that was delivered by the United States of America decades ago. Am I right or wrong? That's what I'm saying. You want to argue my facts, I'm going to give you a train of thought that ain't nobody else going to give you, bro. And I'm saying how you can't argue with what's right or wrong. I'm saying Japan is living in the everlasting peace. You guys got to know the history of the Japanese. They used to always be spatting and warring with the Chinese. The Japanese and the Chinese, they used to couldn't stand each other. But them 50,000 U.S. troops guarantee that the United States delivered an everlasting peace to the Japanese to this point. Like I was saying, you saying everlasting peace in world terms, men are always at war. So, hey, Ghost, you said an everlasting peace, it lasted 23 years. But I'm saying what's going on over there right now is not sustainable. So we need to get to the point to where we within the 23 years of peace that God will grant us. That's what we moving this world to, or attempting to. We're not going to be able to do it with people who writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for the president. Rest in peace to Senator Graham, man. Rest in peace, man. Salute him. He was a veteran of the U.S. military, even though he served in the Air Force and he didn't serve in the Army. He still was a veteran of the military. Shout out, salute Senator Graham. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Army boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Marines, they used to like kind of pluck us in the head like we was weak. They just thought the Air Force was completely girls. They thought the Air Force was all girls. You know what I'm saying? And they thought they were better than us because we was in the Army, you know what I'm saying? But at least we in the field. You know what I'm saying? But the Marines, they thought they was just the snot. I don't want to curse, man. The she's knees. They used to go hard on us. Real talk. We used to call them jarheads. You know what I'm saying? But I got a lot of respect for the United States Navy. United States Navy could rule the world. You got troops on the boat. So you got Marines on the ship that's better than that's really more well-trained than the Army. You got planes, an Air Force on the boat as well. They got submarines. Really, you could do China building battleships in the desert. That Navy, you think a lot of people think that air power. I could get air power straight from them ships, from them aircraft carriers. And the world ain't nobody in the world got aircraft carriers like America. I think America got like 11 aircraft carriers. That's how you dominate the world. I could do everything with that Navy. I got Marines on them ships. Then I got the Air Force on them ships, and them ships could control the waterways. That's how you dominate the world with that Navy, boy. I got a lot of respect for the Navy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Marines, they used to pluck us in the head and stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ground troops, but it's like we Marines, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't nothing. Hoorah, you know. Hey, real, you know, Camp Lejeune, they used to come on the Fort Bragg all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Used to pluck us in the head, but we used to look at the Air Force like they were little girls, though. You know what I'm saying? They don't get dirty. You know what I'm saying? The girly men, they go play with the females and stuff and stay in barracks. We ain't staying in no barracks. We staying in them tents and we staying on the ground. I'm talking about my AIT. It was in Fort Lee, Virginia, and it's 7 degrees outside, and we gotta sleep outside. So, like when you do so you got basic training, and then at the end of basic training, you know what I'm saying, you go through like an obstacle course or whatever like that. But I was in Missouri, and at the time, you know, Missouri, their weather is cold, but it's not like Virginia. And then when I got to Virginia, like we went to a Christmas break, so I came back in Virginia. It was in January, man, and I'm talking about it's like -7 degrees outside. And you gotta sleep, you gotta go out in the field for 3 days, and you gotta sleep on like in the field for 3 days. And like my NCO telling us that one of the lieutenants had died in the field because it was so cold. This is what happened. They give you a sleeping bag. You in your sleeping bag and you sleep. And in the sleeping bag, you so warm you sweat. So if at any time they tell you at night, do not open up that sleeping bag because you sweating. Because if you do, it's so cold that sweat would turn to ice and it would turn you into an icicle. And that's how I went through that, all of that, all the qualifications. AIT, I had a duty station, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, in the U.S. Army. Real talk. Get my DD 214. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like, you know, I had to learn, the discipline and respecting the law. That's why I'm so hard on you. Even if you commit civil crimes and just harassing people, or even if you writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for the president, because I had to learn discipline and how to respect the law. I learned it the hard way. I went through different situations. Yeah, like the penitentiary. I learned it the hard way when I was in the military too. You know what I'm saying? I went through different situations, man. Just what it is. If y'all hadn't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me, man. Mr. David, you welcome. I say one of the greatest mistakes I made in my life probably was not retiring from the military. But you know, that's water under the bridge, that's spilled milk. And God had different plans for me. And my plans is instead of like defending the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I uphold the United States law. Federal law, boy, against all enemies, against all lawbreakers. All lawbreakers, and most of them are domestic. All of them domestic. All lawbreakers. I don't care what you are, boy. I'm gonna hold you responsible to that law. I had to learn that the hard way, boy. I went to Fort Knox when I was in the military, and I came home and I went to the penitentiary. So I've been trained well, trained better than you, well trained. Rest in peace, Lindsey Graham. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. That's all I could say, man. Rest in peace to an American hero. Real talk. I didn't do 3 years at Bragg. I think I was at Bragg for maybe a year, if I'm not mistaken, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I put in paperwork for my military discharge and everything like that, you know? It's just what it is, man. I was a wild, at 20-something, I was wild. I didn't have the discipline I needed, but I was in a place to get that discipline. You know what I'm saying? I was just a wild person. You know what I'm saying? You got to grow up and you grow out of stuff. That's just how life goes. Some people, they still stuck in my past. I'm going to leave them in my past. Some people, they still thinking I'm the person I used to be. I'm going to leave them there. They could think what they want to think. It doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? That's just what they think. If they thinking you your old person, if you be hearing and listening to what they saying and think, then you gonna end up being what they say you are. You know what I'm saying? And I told myself I didn't want to be what someone said I was gonna be. I was gonna be what God viewed me as. I was gonna be what Jesus viewed me as. You see what I'm saying? Good morning, good morning, good morning, Joey. Man, we was talking about President I'm sorry, we was talking about Senator Lindsey Graham. You know what I'm saying? Senator Lindsey Graham, he rest in peace, y'all. He passed away, y'all. He went to Ukraine. He was in Ukraine on Friday. All I know is he's dead today. And unless y'all heard about him having the illness, 71 years old, I didn't know nothing about it. The reason we doing this live stream, my 14th day in a row, like I told Brian C., is because, guys, Lindsey Graham probably, in my opinion, on this live stream, if y'all view the content, I was saying he was the biggest protagonist and why the United States couldn't get peace with Iran. These people keep on telling President Trump the wrong answers. That's the wrong answer, man. That's the wrong answer. The right answer is just to improve those negotiations. Get those negotiation skills up. Get them people. Next time you get Iran at the table, don't let them get up from the table. Keep them at the table. You got to swallow your pride. You got to have discipline. You got to be focused. You got to have integrity. You can't be focused on your weapons company making money. You got to think about the American people and the American laws. If you don't care about the American people or the American laws, then, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Senator Graham. And I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm just saying the people that I observed, that's what mattered. The American people and the American laws. Laws are supreme. I believe in the dignity of the law, man. I believe the law is supreme. If you don't believe God is supreme, God is the law. So if you don't believe in God, what you gonna believe in? The law is supreme, bro. If you don't like authority, I don't know what to tell you. The law is the authority. I just happen to be an executor of the law, civil law, but the law is the authority. The law is supreme. You got to obey the law, period. Somebody said, who is that, Bond? Bond said he went from the high school to the Marine Corps. Thank you for your service, man. I'm telling you, them Marines ain't no joke. I trained with them, got respect for them. Point blank, period. Them Marines ain't no joke. Best fighting soldiers in the world, in the entire world. The Chinese can't see us. The best fighting soldiers in the world, period. Point blank. Ain't no questions about it. Don't talk to somebody who loves his country. It's not just that I got a bias for America. I got factual proof of what I was saying. When the last time China been in a conflict? So I'm saying all the Chinese troops, their experience come from drills. I'm saying America has been in live action for the last 40 years straight. American troops are better equipped, higher paid. They have more experience than the Chinese troops. The American Marines are the greatest fighters in the world, bar none, period. Oh, you said cool story, man. Like, yeah, man, but rest in peace to Senator Graham, man. Real talk, though. Rest in peace to the senator, man. Rest in peace to Senator Graham. What you want me to say? That's from the bottom of my heart before the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm saying I'll never celebrate the death of a man. Even if I think if it's gonna be better for the United States in the long run. Like Charlie Kirk, there's unintended consequences for you assassinating or murdering someone. You know what I'm saying? They say he died from a sudden illness, man. I'm saying, I don't know. The rest, I don't think we're not gonna know how Lindsey Graham died. We're gonna have to take that story. That's what I believe. For Lindsey Graham, Willie, yeah, I'm saying what? Oh, I was upset. I did have a very deep affection for Lindsey Graham. I ain't gonna lie. Just like Senator McCain, I said that plenty of times before. Senator Cruz is something different, but I don't hate Senator Cruz though. But I'm saying I just those politicians I focused on. I heard Lindsey Graham as a voice during President Obama's administration, and a lot of stuff he said on foreign policy I agreed on because President Obama was just too relaxed in his dealings sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is over the time, me hearing Senator Graham, what I'm gonna say, what he not metamorphosed, but what he became, it's like he took a turn and he changed. And he started like, the Hawker, it's just the time, man. The time that man should have been on a golf course, man, like playing golf, doing what he do to enjoy the rest of his life. Too old, man. Old politicians. You got tired policies. Your policies are tired. They too old. I'm 46 years old. I know exactly when I'm in my prime. Like when President Obama was in his prime, in his 40s. I'm saying I'm in my prime, bro. I'm talking about I'm going outthink your sharpest person. I'm going outthink him. I'm going outmaneuver him. You know how you outmaneuver Iran is you get someone who know how to talk. And I'm going to talk them into serving you. I had the Iranians bowing to the American flag when I finished with them. I might strike them in the mouth too like President Trump. I'm just do it differently. You see what I'm saying? I know right now, like I can't give President Trump the advice that I want to give him the way that I think he said. You said Bolton the same, but Bolton is worse. John Bolton is worse than Lindsey Graham. John Bolton, in my opinion, was worse than Lindsey Graham. The difference is that President Trump, didn't he bring his administration, they brought charges against John Bolton. So in my opinion, I'm thinking President Trump not listening to John Bolton. He's trying to put John Bolton in jail. John Bolton is worse. But I'm just thinking, listen, he used to advise President Trump. I'm thinking the people who are in his ear, that J.D. Vance, Lindsey Graham, Charlie Kirk, and Benjamin Netanyahu, them the top four. Who else in his ear? Marco Rubio? But I'm saying, Marco Rubio ain't advising him to go to war with Iran. I'm saying, who else you saying that that advised President Trump that he listens to? I'm saying Benjamin and we know Lindsey Graham. Every report on Lindsey Graham is that he was a ear. He said, I heard Lindsey Graham say he talked to President Trump every day. Imagine if I don't know if that was true or not. I don't know if that was a figure of speech or not, but I'm saying, imagine if I'm talking to President Trump every day. If Ghost talked to President Trump every day, we would have been out of Iran. And if Lindsey Graham talked to President Trump every day, President Trump knowing that taking Carg Island is the wrong move. He knows that. He knows that. But I'm saying this guy over here, and I'm saying he listening to that. But I'm saying he putting that on the plate. I'm saying, and if President Trump keep listening to that, then we gonna end up in Carg Island. I think that's how that's gonna go. If y'all understand what I'm saying, all I'm saying, the man, in my opinion, he write the wrong answers on the chalkboard for President Trump. You gotta get the right advisors around him. Someone laughing that Lindsey Graham is dead, no more AIPAC money in hell. You gonna get stuff like that all the time. You get people like that all the time. I don't think it's funny though. Not me personally. He was taking AIPAC money, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he shouldn't have, but that's just what it is. WTF over. What's up, my brother? He says, Viking King, what political leader is laughing about Graham like Trump has done over deaths of people? And WTF, you are absolutely right. It's unfortunate. We need to change this. We need to move. This is a moment. Even though you're gonna have all these Democrats, they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like they were laughing at Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how Tucker Carlson can take a victory lap on this, but we all like felt a certain way about Lindsey Graham. I ain't even gonna lie, we all felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlie Kirk, he just a little bit different. I wasn't really up on Charlie Kirk or follow Charlie Kirk, but I know he was giving President Trump the right advice. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Lindsey Graham was writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard. He finna have this man take Carg Island, and the whole American empire finna bleed out in front of the whole world to the Iranians. I'm saying I don't have the confidence that they have the pieces in the puzzle to make. You have the best tools. The military, the American military is the best tool. The American dollar is the best tool. You got all the best tools. Why you can't get the job done? It makes no sense. I'm not confident in them being able to get it done. Titan Bruce says burning the American flag is the First Amendment protected form of expression, but that's a form of expression that I don't protect you for doing. Even though you can do it, then why do something you can do? Just being hateful. Why be hateful? Why do we continue to be hateful in this world? I was advising your politician. This is how I would talk to your politician. That's why I was saying, listen, I don't have to be in the room or around your politician. Just let me pick up the phone and call your politician every day. Your politician need to be on the phone with Ghost. I don't care what party they in. Ghost gonna get your politician in the right frame of mind. Y'all get all these other interests. He could listen to these interests, but you need someone who gonna tell him the right thing to do. The right thing. The difficult thing, the right thing with nothing to gain, with integrity and love for his country, and no party. If you guys haven't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Carlson is finally sounding sane. Nah, he been sounding sane. Maybe not whenever he was on Fox News. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear Sean Hannity and them. Like, I know Sean Hannity, I forgot, he wanted President Trump's biggest advisor too. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that fighting war stuff, man, like, you said try to burn the pride flag. Man, burn that pride flag. Like, listen, I'm going to say it like this. I'm a conservative Christian, but I believe I'm progressive on economic issues. I don't believe, listen, to me, this is my opinion. You know, I talk about a lot of tough things. And the people that know me know I will not discriminate or show any form of discrimination to a man who likes another man or a woman who likes another woman. But what I'm saying, it's not natural. That's what the Bible say. It's not a natural progression for two men to be together. You cannot bring forth life like that. If all the men in the world were homosexuals, life would cease to exist. Y'all don't think about it like that because you're not worried about it because only 10% of the world is homosexual. But I'm saying, what if we promoted homosexual lifetime and we all went to be with homosexual? We all turn homosexual, then life would cease to exist. That's not the natural progression. The natural progression is for a man and a woman to be together and bring forth life and have a child and a family and grow and nurture. That's the natural progression. So no, I never believe. If you say you can't stop a man, the ultimate is the free will. God gave every man free will. So you can't stop a man unless he breaking the law or unless he, you know what I'm saying, imposing on someone else's free will. But what I'm saying, you can't stop a man from liking another man. But I'm saying, I think that it's against nature. That's what I think. And I don't care how nobody feel. That's my opinion. You entitled to have your opinion. I'm not going to discriminate against him. I'm different than you. I'm different than a lot of other Christians you hear talk solidly like I talk. Because a lot of Christians talk like I'm talking about here down in the South, those, if you gay in the South, your life might not be all the way safe. You know, it's transgenders get killed in the South all the time. No, oil is not the cause. Oil might be the cause of many wars, but not what's going on right now. I could promise you that. Guys, an hour and 58 minutes we've been live streaming. If you guys, anyone want channel memberships, donate to the channel, hit the button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. If not, guys, really soon, you know what I'm saying, we'll get off. If you guys want to continue the conversation, you guys know what to do. Titan Bruce says free will cannot be given. It has been given by God. Period. When God chose to give Christians a place in heaven, Jews were no longer the chosen people. Viking Kings, I'm saying what Jesus said. Jesus said his people are those who follow him. That ain't the Jews. That's whoever follow and accept Jesus Christ. Christ is king. Those are his chosen people. So you saying those Jews that are in there, yeah, that like you, those Old Testament scriptures, even though I would hesitate to attack God, attack the Jews, because I know that the Jews were the people that God chose to start it off. But I'm saying now today, we're not looking to a Jew to learn how to worship God. That's what God created. He chose them for, and that's what they did for centuries. They taught us about God. The Jews did. They taught us, the Jews and that Torah, the Jews and their Bible and their language. When the rest of the world was saying there were multiple gods, they were saying there was only one God, and it's Jehovah Jireh, and they never changed their story. The Chinese have changed their stories. The Romans have changed their stories. The whole world have changed their story. But I'm saying the Jews, they believe the Hebrews, that one God, and they never changed their story. They taught us about God. So you got to respect that. You got to understand that. But the Old Testament isn't alive, though. Jesus is alive. The Old Testament law that they live by, it will not get you to heaven. The law that gets you to heaven is the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. Christ is king.
Can you come back down this way? Oh no, there's a fence.
You see what I'm saying? And I say that wherever I go, man, Christ is king. I don't care. Listen, regardless of what's anybody say out their mouth, it's not going to change reality. That's what you got to understand. Rest in peace, Senator Graham. He's understanding that right now. Whatever come out your mouth not going to change reality. Your words don't change reality. Reality is reality, and your words are your words. They're two totally different things. See, your mind will play tricks on you, and you see whatever coming out your mouth, and your mind, you think that's reality, but your words are not always reality. Even if you're not lying or you're not attempting to lie, you just talking, and that's why God says that a man, everything out of your mouth, God says to guard your tongue and to watch your words. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they just be saying a whole lot of words that don't mean nothing. They just be talking about words that don't mean nothing. A lot of people, they write the wrong answers on the chalkboard for the president, like Senator Graham used to do. Rest in peace, Senator Graham. Your words are you gotta understand, if your words are worthless, they're worthless. Your word with no weight in them are not gonna outweigh my words. I'm saying whoever send you is gonna lose. Your leader is gonna lose to me. Because I'm saying I don't even really address the crash dummies personally. You know, they're a crash dummy. A crash dummy is gonna do whatever they told to do. You know what I'm saying? A crash dummy is made to crash. They are built to crash. A crash dummy is built to crash. And they don't have a problem crashing because they're going to be reassembled to crash again. Most people don't even have the understanding that they are crash dummies. That they're like dirt, they're pawns to be used whenever. I'm not none of the above. I can't fit in your fake system. Your system fake and it's flawed. I'm going to just tell you what it is. You need to get with this. What I'm talking is the real. What I'm talking is the real. This the real program that all your people need to get with, because what they talking ain't about nothing. I'm just being real with you. What they talking is about nothing. They be trying, though, but it's just not about nothing. You don't have no power in your words. There's no power in your words. And if you do have power in your words, you writing the wrong answer on the chalkboard for the president. Rest in peace, man. If you guys haven't liked the video, y'all double tap, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, man. You know what I'm saying? No, they don't, WTF. They don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. That's the whole problem they have. If they believe Jesus was the Messiah, they would be Christians. Hey, you saying am I okay with Trump making billions off his POTUS position? The greater problem is he hasn't done nothing for the American people. If he had done what the American people thought he was going to do when they elected him, they wouldn't have a problem with him making $2 billion. But I'm saying that's the only problem that I really see that $2 billion that he's made is because he hasn't done what he should have for the American people. That's where the problem is. Do I have a problem personally with him making money while being president? Like, if he's not violating no laws, no. If he's violating some laws, the Democrats gonna come for him anyway. So, yeah, WTF, my brother, they don't believe Jesus is the Messiah, just like the Jews. They still waiting for the Messiah. You see what I'm saying? They still waiting for him. They don't believe that he's the Messiah. That Jesus was a prophet and he was a brother. He wasn't a brother of Jesus. He was a brother of, you know what I'm saying, other prophets. The Muslims believe Jesus was a prophet. They do. Yes, indeed. Mormons also believe Jesus was only a prophet. I don't know that Viking Kings for a fact. You know what I'm saying? I thought Mormons were identified as Christians. But if they believe he was only a prophet, then like I'm saying, they're not really Christians, followers of Christ. Because Jesus Christ was God. That's what we believe as Christians. We believe he was a living God, the living God. The, not a, the living God. Christ is King. Someone says, why do God need a son? Why do you need a son? I don't question things that I don't have an answer for. I don't question things that I can't control. Some things you can't question. You just got to understand that discipline, preaching that discipline. It's discipline. You see what I'm saying? Just some things that you just, it's what it is. You know why? The sky is blue. The grass is green. Man, come on. But I mean, like, I understand you have an intellectual thought, but I'm saying, like, what are we gonna say? What can we say, man? You know what I'm talking about? You said gay. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to respond to that. I done already addressed that. You said Jesus mentioned more in the Quran than the Bible. Maybe he is, but the Quran ain't the book of life. The Bible is the book of life. The Word of God is the book of life. There's no need for me to ever read or pick up a Quran. I could study stuff on the internet and have enough understanding of what's written in the Quran if it was necessary, if I was trying to reach Muslims. You see what I'm saying? But there's no need for me to ever read a Quran. I read the Bible. Messiah means different things in translation. My bad, I'm wrong. Believe Jesus was a divine prophet, but not the son. That's the only reason. They just like the Muslim, WT. They just like the Jews, WTF. That's what I'm saying. We have so much affection for the Jews. Yeah, the Jews did teach us about God. Yeah. But we got so much affection for the Jews, but at the same time, we don't have for the Muslims. Jews were and are God's chosen people. God did for that land, I believe, all of the above. It's not none of that I do not believe. But I'm saying it still doesn't change the position that we in right now. Writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard. for Netanyahu writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for your boy for President Trump. Y'all could say the Democrats or whatever y'all want to. The Democrats are not in power. Angels don't have a gender. No, they don't have a gender. Not that I'm aware of. God has a gender. We were made in the image of God. I think an angel is something different than what you think an angel is. I think most of y'all think angels are like the pictures, just like pictures of God that you learn in middle school, or something that you just put in your mind as what you think an angel is. But nah, I think an angel is a messenger of God. And I don't think they have gender as far as my understanding of the scripture. He is pardoned fraudsters, now the victims will never get compensation. You believe the Jewish people in Israel descended of Jews in the Bible? If they not, then do a genealogy test. I think the majority of them are. I think there are imposters in the mix. That's how you going to get the false prophet to dwell in Jerusalem, as the Bible say, in the last days. And he probably going to be a Jew or of Israel, from Hebrew. Yeah, I think they have, just like the devil, just like they had within Jesus' circle or Jesus 12, there was a devil among them 12. I think there's a devil among them 12 tribes in Israel too. And I think that devil is the Antichrist. But you can't spit on the whole people of Israel if you do that, because you are in violation of God's scriptures. You said why they need him to write something on the whiteboard. I don't know, but Lindsey Graham was writing stuff on the whiteboard for President Trump, and it was the wrong answers. I keep saying the same thing. It was the wrong answers. Take Carg Island is the wrong answer. I'm going to go take a piece of land that I know Marines are going to die, a bunch of Marines going to die, and there's no way that I could. Come on, man, stop being stupid. You can't, there's no way that you could prove that taking this piece of land is going to lead to nothing else but further conflict. You writing the wrong answers on the chalkboard for the big dog. They do have speech writers. Trump didn't put his hand on the Bible when he was sworn in. I think that's a problem. Somebody said Obama didn't either, man. What? I don't know nothing about that. I thought I remember them with their hand on the Bible. Somebody says Trump is a false prophet, wolf in sheep's clothing. He might be. But he's the elected president of the United States, though. Rest in peace to Lindsey Graham, y'all. That's 2 hours and 12 minutes. We're about to get up out of here. Trump was raised in Indonesia. Man, we done heard all of them lies all the time. I done heard them lies plenty of time. He might have spent some time in Indonesia, Obama was raised in Hawaii. He probably did. Iran didn't like Obama all that much, but they hate Trump. You know what I'm saying? They hate President Trump. Iran's not going to like an American leader. You just got to have the ability to negotiate with them. Focus on the negotiations. Focus on your negotiation abilities and focus on why the negotiation keep failing. Because those negotiations is the answer and the key to solving the problem. A DA, I don't know nothing about that. Just because he elected president don't make him special. You don't respect the law. You just like them. You accusing them of not respecting the law. That's why you hate them. But you not respecting the law either. If he was elected president, you know what that means? That means that he is, according to the law, the leader of America. If you want to remove him from office, then you do that through Congress, through elections. Point blank period. Y'all, that's my time, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to say one more time, one last time before we get out of here. Rest in peace to Senator Graham. You know what I'm saying? He served in the United States Air Force for over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? He's been a senator in the United States Congress for a very long time. But you know what I'm saying? We want to say rest in peace to Senator Graham. He went to Kyiv in the Ukraine doing his job. He come back home shortly after he home. You know what I'm saying? He has passed away. That's my time, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. I love y'all showing up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all participating in the process. You know what I'm saying, guys? We'll be live again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Day number 16 in a row. We live again tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Eastern time, man. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Happy Sunday. And remember, Christ is King. I'm out of here, y'all.